Welcome all. Welcome to Computer Organization course. Computer Organization course is added to third semester CS and IS streams by VTU because computers are essential part of our day-to-day life. Almost everywhere around us is associated with computer hardware or software. So myself Anu Jose. The course code is 18CS34 and these are my uh, personal details like email ID and mobile number. And this is our course website. There I will post all materials related to computer organization, and even the Google Classroom code has also given. Everyone should mandatorily join our Google Classroom for getting the information about assignments and all materials. I will post in our Google Classroom. Okay. Next is I want to give an introduction to the subject. What is a computer? We can fix it first. What is actually a computer? Is it computer is doing some magic for us? So the definition was telling like it is a fast electronic calculating machine that accepts digitized input information, process it according to the list of internally stored information, and produces the resulting output information. So this is the definition of a computer. So what it is telling, it is a fast electronic calculating machine. It's a machine only. And what all are the things that machine is doing? It can able to accept input and it can process that input and it can store it, and the stored, whether it is input or the processed result, can even display to the output. So that are the things my computing machine should do. Such type of machines or electronic machine is called a computer. Maybe these questions even you may have. How does a computer execute a program? You have written C programming language in your CPL lab. You executed so many programs like factorial of a number, Fibonacci series, or so many programs in C programming language. And you know that now you have studied computer is just an electronic equipment. How that equipment can do the high level programming language, or how can it give the result what you are expecting? And what is there inside the computer? What is the thing which is present inside the computer for doing all this magic? Whether the are all computer hardwares are alike? What is the difference between the program PC and a supercomputer? So these things are some basic questions. This course is really easy and it is actually clarifying our basic doubts. So actually this type of basic doubts everyone is having, and our subject is only dealing with these basic doubts. And even you were used systems, so even you all are familiar with what is a computer. That is what all are the things present in the computer everyone knows. Other than that, computers were using everywhere now. Inventions and technology are directly associated with the computer science. Computers makes our life so easy. We will see few real-time examples where we are using computers other than what we know. So look into this example. This is an example taken from the medical field. Actually, the doctor was trying to check where is this was the heart of a patient and the patients where it is something went wrong, and it was a virtual reality platform provided by computer to the doctor so that the doctor can cross check where the things went wrong for that particular patient. Even here, this is also all the type of electric signals what is happening in our body that was recorded, and its signals was recorded in this computing machine. This is also an example has taken from the medical field. And look into this. This is an example which was taken from actually the designer was trying to create a new model of the car. So she was trying to draw the new model in the computing device. Computers makes our life easy by providing the latest news on internet. And even it provides smoothness and security in banking operations. It is making our business process fast and precise. Even we are using social media for entertainment, even knowledge update, everything. So all those facilities are provided by computers. Even for government schemes, if we want to get the benefit of a government schemes, we should apply through online application. We should apply online. So even for that also we need computers. So computers are everywhere. So it is really necessary to know what is the basic working of a computer. That's why we are studying this course. Now we will see, these are the few applications of computer I was just explained you. Now actually we should concentrate on what is the structure of the course and what all are the objectives of the course. We'll see these are the course objectives. First one is explain the basic subsystem of a computer, their organization, structure and operation. So it was trying to find out what all are the basic subsystems of a computer, how it is arranged inside the system, and what all are the operations of each of the subsystems. Second one is illustrate the concept of programs as a sequence of machine instructions. You are writing the program, how it is executing inside that machine, how the machine instructions are creating inside the machine, whatever the instruction what we are writing, how machine is able to understand that internal logic is describing. Even it is communicating with the input devices, like whatever the input you are giving from the keyboard and mouse, that the system is able to understand. So what is the communication is and what type of communication is happening between that we'll be discussing. And even whatever the data you are giving to the system and whatever the processed result the system is having, that all the things will be storing inside the system. So it is needed a memory processing unit or memory hierarchy. So what type of data, where it is storing, that is also specifically arranged, and that is called memory hierarchy. Next is whenever it is getting some input and it is processing the input, that was the definition is telling. So that processing may be any arithmetical operation or a logical operation. So that will be also discussed. And even it is discussing about the pipelined processor architecture and how it makes the system more efficient. That is also discussing as a part of the course objective. And next we will be discussing about what are the textbooks and reference book prescribed by VTU. So the first book is the prescribed textbook and second one is the prescribed reference book. The first book was named as Computer Organization by Carl Hamcher, and it is a 5th edition textbook. It's that is the first textbook, and second textbook is William Stallings. Its cover page has also given in the slides. So it's a 9th edition computer organization and architecture textbook of William Stallings. Okay, so that is a reference book, and all the contents is taken from the first book textbook, and still I will recommend the reference book also for few topics that I will mention separately. So this are the functional units and module overview. The basic functional units of a computer. Already from the definition itself you know that it is taking some input and it is giving some output that anyway we need. So there is an input output unit. Other than that, the result should store in the memory. So there is a storage place that is called memory, and it is doing the arithmetical and logical operation, processing it, and when it is doing, whether it is reading from memory or it should write into the memory, so the controlling is required. So that part was done by the control unit. So these are the basic functional units of a computer, and this diagram itself will give the module overview also. So the first module is just discussing about the basic functional units of a computer, the basic introduction only, the structure of computers and what all are the components involved in it, basic overview of how an instruction is executing inside the computer, what are the different bus structures present in the system. So how the communication between the IO devices and memory, and between the memory and output unit, or memory to arithmetic logic unit. So that communication, how it is happening, that is through bus structure, and how it is happening, that all things will be. So the basic part of communication, bus structure, as well as the how an instruction is executing, that is what your first module is tells about. And the second module is about discussing about the IO devices, like what are the input device, what is the output device, and how the input output organization is happening, and how to access the input device, what is meant by interrupts, and what are the hardware structure of interrupts, what is meant by IO interfaces like SCSI, USB and all. So that part will be discussing in the module 2. And module 3 is only about memory subsystems. So it is discussing about different types of memory, RAM, ROM, cache memory, and how mapping of cache memory is happening. So those basic things will be discussing in the memory. And module 4 is all about arithmetical and logic unit. So that will be discussing about different orders, multipliers, and even addition, subtraction, multiplication and division of integer arithmetics will be discussing. And then the module 5, definitely it will be discussing about a control unit. So the hardware control, microprogrammed control will be discussing. Along with that, the basic pipelining concept is also discussing. So this is the overview of the syllabus. So module 1 is only the basics regarding different components and how the communication between these components and how an instruction is executing. Module 2 is about input output. Module 3 is about memory, and module 4 is about arithmetic and logic unit, and module 5 will discuss about the control unit. So that's same thing as just mentioned, like the content wise. So we will go in detail later. This is just for your reference. I have added one slide. Now we'll discuss about the grading system. So the external exam will be of 60 marks. It is usually university exam. So 20 marks from each module. We will be having 5 different modules. From each module 20 marks questions will come, and you will be having an option. 2 questions of 20 marks will be there. Any one question completely you should take. Maybe that one question will have subparts also. And internal exams of 40 marks. So usually 3 IITs will be there, each of 50 marks. And from the IIT 30 marks will be taken, and 5 homework I will give from each module 1. So it will have 10 marks. So this is the assignment details. So 5 assignment from 5 modules, and the issue date and submission date I have just mentioned. Even those information you will get from your Google Classroom. So based on that, even you can submit the assignments on time. Next is the grading policy of the assignments. Assignments may be submitted by Google Classroom. Late assignments are penalized by the loss of 33% per day late. That means 3 days late is as late as you can get. So within that you should submit the assignment. And even solution will be posted on the course web page as well as the Google Classroom. No assignment will be accepted after the solution posted. And next point is also very important. All 3 IITs are mandatory. No IIT 4 will be conducting for this subject. Okay. So other than that, what are the prerequisites you need for this course? What are the extra prerequisite? What are the things you should know before studying the subject? Basic computer literacy that everyone is having, then binary numbers, Boolean algebra, gates and flip-flops, combinational and sequential logic, data representation formats. So these things, if first one anyway everyone knows, you had CPL lab last semester, and if you don't know this, don't worry, make your study mode on and you can refer these 4 links. I have given the first link for second topic, like that the links has shared, you can just refer it. That is enough for starting our course. Next is the recent trends and materials for reading. Some extra materials I have posted. It would actually speaking, whatever the system what we were familiar 2 years back is outdated now. So the changes are happening so drastically. You really have to keep up with the changes of the industry. In the initial stage, when we were using MS-DOS that time and all, 640K was the current system's capacity. That was the capacity of the initial days, and now the system will be having gigabytes of memory. Even cache is using in all levels, and lot of new programming languages has developed, so its design of compilers will also be a difficult thing. And even the features which are added to the new programming languages are also making the compiler design process is so difficult. Object oriented concepts and structural programming things, so it all these things makes the system complicated, so even the design part will also complicated. Next thing is the feedback. Please provide the informal feedback early and often before the formal review process. It will help me to adapt with your learning style. So if you feel anything wrong when I am explaining something, you have the right to tell me that this is what is wrong. If you do something like this, it will be helpful for us. You can give that input so that I can change my style. This course is about what computers consisting of, how computers work, how they are organized internally, what are the design trade-off, how design as affects the programming and application, and what is it not about. It is not explaining about how to fix computers, how to build myself one real chip, and which computer I should buy, what is the features of i3, i5, i7 processors. Okay, what all are the benefits you are getting if you have done this course. That's what's the last thing. You can able to explain the basic computer organization things, the organization of a computer system, and even you can demonstrate the functioning of different subsystems like processor unit, input output unit, memory unit. Even you can discuss about what is the hardwired control and microprogrammed control or even pipelining, and how the arithmetical and logical unit works. So that all ideas you will get by doing this course. This is the most fundamental course in computer other than the programming logic aspect. This is the most basic thing, how a program is working and the actual common doubts what every human being is having regarding computer will be clarifying in the subject. So this is a basic course and it is an easy course. Only thing is you should put little effort for studying the things what we are explaining in the class, what I am explaining in the class. Okay, all the very best for all of you. Thank you.